Why do we always emphasize on likes and comments? Because these are a form of encouragement. Actually, to me, likes and comments motivate me to create more. But you guys don't like to give it out. Hi creative, welcome back to the sewing version of how I made this beautiful pants. And if you're here seeing this video for the first time, please go ahead and like my video and also subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, this is a sewing version. Like I said, you guys, the pattern drafting is available on this channel. So if you don't even have your pattern drafted, I will advise you to click out of this video, go watch the pattern drafting. This is the thumbnail for the pattern drafting. Go watch that and come join us on the sewing version. So if you have your pattern, this is what you need to do next. Go ahead and fold your fabric into two. Fold your fabric into two. Place your pattern on your fabric and cut this out. Now the first thing I have here is the front piece, and as you can see, I already cut out my front piece, and what I'll be doing right here on the camera is notch my darts. So please follow me and notch your darts on your fabric. And once you have that done, I'm just going to take out my pattern so you guys see that this is my front piece and I have two pieces for my front piece. The next is going to be the back piece, and I did a cutting of the camera, and this is it, the back pattern, and this is the back piece. And I also have two pieces for this. Do not forget to notch your darts on the back piece, and let's move on to the next step. Now step one for the sewing is going to be us sewing the zipper flyer. So get your pattern for your zipper flyer, and this is what you should know. The A and B is going to be called A, B on this video, and the C is just going to be called C. So whenever I say A, B, you should know the pattern I'm talking about, and when I say C, you should know the pattern I'm talking about. So I have one piece for my A, B pattern. So you just go ahead and cut out just one piece for your AB pattern, and then use your interfacing on this. Like I already went ahead to iron my interfacing on my AB, and this is how it looks. So we're going to be folding this into two and sew. Now for the C pattern, I have two pieces of this, and we're going to be sewing the two pieces together. Now the C pattern is the one that has the curve, and yeah, we're going to be sewing it together. So the first thing we need to do now is place our two C pieces together, right side facing right side, and we're just going to sew from this curve like this and to this end. Okay creatives, let's move over to the sewing machine. So for the beginners, don't be scared. We're going to be doing this hand to hand. Yes, so I'm just going to put you through. So here is my C piece, and I'm just going to sew the part I told you guys to sew, like the curve. I'm going to sew 1/4 inch. Please watch carefully what I'm doing so you don't get confused. So once I have that done, this is how it looks, and I'm just going to drop this aside, and I will sew my AB piece. So keep this aside. This is my AB piece, and like I said, we're going to be folding this into two. So I just folded this to the right side. Like I folded the right side in, and I'm sewing on the wrong side, and I'm just going to sew just the base like this, and we're done. Let's go over to iron this out. So I'm just going to iron this out, and I'm just going to make sure that my AB piece, the AB piece, lays really flat, and then my C piece also lays flat. So make sure that your iron is at a reasonable heat, and then make sure you make the edges of your pieces, your fly piece, very flat. So as you can see, I'm just taking my time to make this flat. So you too take your time, okay? Now we're going to go ahead and sew our zip on the fly piece AB. Now the AB piece, that is what we're going to be sewing first, and we're going to be sewing the zip on it. Now this is my AB piece, and this is how it looks. Now from the rough edges, where I have the rough edges, I'm going to place my zip like this, very close to the rough edges, not the close edge where you have the rough edges. And I'm going to place my zip like this, and I'm going to sew by the 1/2 inch on the zip. So you can see that the base of my zip is sitting at where we just closed in. You guys just look at what I'm doing. So take your time and sew your zip to the open edges of your AB piece. And once I'm done sewing, this is what I have. I'm just going to zip this back. And we're going to move to the next step. Now, the next step is for us to sew the right leg of the front piece. So we're going to be sewing this AB piece on the right leg. So this is the right leg of my pant piece. And that part will just finish sewing. That's on the AB piece. That's the zipper flyer. The part will just finish sewing. I'm going to place that part like this. I'll place my zip facing it, right side to the right side of the fabric. And I'm going to sew this by the 1/2 inch I sewed on the zip. So what I'm just going to do right now is sew on the same line I just sewed on the zip. But this time around, making sure that my zip is facing the fabric right side. You can see I'm just matching on the same line I just sewed. But my zip is facing right side to the right side of the fabric. I just want you guys to get this. That's why I'm repeating. So please take your time. You can see me going front and backwards, like I'm just making sure I take my time. And when you get to the end of this, make sure you back stitch. So I'm just going to back stitch and cut out my thread. Now, in case you don't understand the language or the English or whatever I'm saying, please look exactly at what I'm doing. I think if you look closely, you will not miss it. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to top stitch on my fabric. Now, I'm sewing on the right side of the right leg, and I'm just going to top stitch on the zip side like this. And you can see how I'm just zipping it up and down so I can have a free way to sew. So make sure you do that in case you're finding it very hard to just sew. Just zip it down, zip it up. Anyhow, you just need to go make it go like that, okay? So we are done with this, and this is how it looks. Let's move to the next step. We are going to sew the C piece to the left leg of our front piece. So I'm going to bring the left leg of the front piece, and this is my C piece. My C piece is on there, and I'm just going to be sewing my C piece to the left leg. So I'm indicating that this is left leg L, and this is my C piece. I'm going to place the open edge towards the crotch side. You can see where I'm sewing, and I'm sewing by 1/4 inch. And make sure when you get to the end, back stitch. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fold the C piece into the wrong side. Now, this is the wrong side we just sewed. We're going to be folding the C piece into the wrong side. So I'll fold it like this, and now my C piece is on the wrong side, and I'll go ahead and top stitch this on the right side. So where I'm sewing my fabric right now is the right side. That's the good side of the fabric. When I say right side, I mean the good side, where you have the fabric showing very well. And when I say wrong side, that is like the forced side. It's just like the, I don't know, but it's just not as clear as the right side, okay? So yeah, I am done doing that, and we're going to move to the next step. So you can see that my C piece is just slipping inside the left leg. Now what we're going to do is we're going to place where I have my C piece sitting on my left leg of the pants. I'm just going to place it like this on where I have my AB piece, and when I place it, I'll make sure that it covers my zip at least 1/2 inch in. At least it covers the zip 1/2 inch in, and I'm just going to pin this so it does not move. So make sure that your C piece left leg is at least 1/2 inch covering your zip, and then when you do that and pin this down, just turn this to the wrong side, and you're going to see that you can be able to sew your zip to your C piece. So I'm just going to go ahead and stitch my zip to the C piece. I'm just going to sew very close to the zip. So when you follow the steps I just explained, you're just going to get to this point. And once I was done with that, this is what I have. So what I'll do is go ahead and top stitch, but before I do that, I have to close the crotch. So yeah, I'm just showing off right now so you guys can see my fly piece coming together. So what I'll do is close the crotch first before I go ahead and top stitch. So I'm just going to close the crotch. I'll be sewing by 1/4 inch. And then once I'm done, make sure you notch that point, okay? So when you flip it to the right side, this is how it looks. We are almost done, you guys. So what we need to do now is top stitch. Now when you're top stitching, please follow the curve of your C piece, because you have your C piece covering your AB piece. Please follow the curve and make sure you turn this to the wrong side, and make sure that your A piece is separated from your C piece, so you don't just go ahead and totally close this off or you can't be able to zip it. Make sure you separate at the wrong side. That's the back side of your pants, the wrong side. Make sure you separate your AB piece from your C piece, okay? And if you're learning, go ahead and like this video. Please don't hoard. Don't keep the like to yourself. Please go ahead and like the video. Give me that encouragement and motivation I need to create more videos for you, because I want to create more videos, but I need to see your motivation. I'm not even seeing it, okay? Please give it out. It's free, absolutely free. So once I was done with the whole process, this is how my zipper flyer is looking, or zip fly. Yeah, so let's move on to sewing the darts. Now you guys remember you notched your dart on the fabric, and yeah, I did that and you guys saw when I did that. Now I'm just going to go ahead and sew in those darts. I'll be sewing this on the wrong side. I'm going to sew the front piece and also do the back piece, but off the camera I'll sew in the darts. If you are learning, give this video a thumbs up, please, okay? And then let's move to the next step. Now the next step is for us to sew the two back pieces together. So this is my back piece. This is the left leg and this is the right leg. I'm just going to place them right side facing right side, and I'm sewing on this curve side. That's the crotch side. You guys are going to see how I sew, so just go ahead and follow what I'm doing. I'm just sewing from the waist and I'll go down to the crotch, and I'm sewing this in by 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to continue till I get to the crotch side. So I'm following the letter L, like the shape L. I said later. So once I'm done doing that, this is how it looks, and the next step is for us to sew the back piece and the front piece together. So bring out your front piece, guys, because we'll have to join that to the back piece. We have to do that right now. So this is my front piece with my zipper flies looking pretty. I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm going to place my back piece on the front piece, and I'm going to go ahead and sew the sides by 1/2 inch. I'm sewing in the sides by 1/2 inch, and I also sew the crotch side by 1/2 inch. Now you guys, at this point I regretted not adding a pocket to this, because it would have been awesome having a pocket on this pants. But probably the next video I'll be doing, I'm also going to be doing a shorts, and I'm going to be making the shorts with a zipper fly. So in case this is not clear enough for you, just check back. A short video is going to come out, a very cute short with a zipper fly, so stay tuned. So once I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and sew the crotch. I'll make sure that the front crotch and the back crotch sit together, and then I'll go ahead and sew by 1/2 inch. When it comes to the like that I'm talking about, I'm not even talking about just my video, other videos. In fact, today that you're watching a YouTube video, any video you're watching, please don't forget to give that video a thumbs up, because whosoever is putting out a content is actually putting out work. Encourage them, give them the like they deserve, okay? Please do that. Do that today. Vivian said so. So once I'm done sewing in the sides, we are done. We're just going to go ahead and create the band. That is the last step for this video. Now this is how I always create my band. The width of my band is my round waist plus 4 inches. My round waist is 31 plus 4 inches gives you 35. So that is how wide this band is right now. And the next I'm going to show you guys is the length. Now the length is 5 inches. That is how long the fabric is. And this is what I'll do first. I have my iron at a reasonable heat. I'm just going to fold in half an inch on the top here like this, on top of the length. And then I'll do that at the base of the length. I'll fold in half inch here and half inch on the base. And then now I'm folding in half inch on the base. Once you take out half inch on the top and half inch on the base, now you've exhausted 1 inch. What I'll do now is fold this into 2 equal parts, and now my band is going to be 2 inches wide. So that is how I always create my band. Okay, now let's go ahead and sew this to the pants. So this is my pants. I'm just going to zip this open, and this is how I'll be sewing my band. I'll sew this from the wrong side of the fabric, and I'll be sewing by the half an inch I left. So the half an inch I left, I'll sew this on the wrong side. So once I'm done sewing this on the wrong side, the next thing for me to do is flip this to the right side like this. And then when I'm flipping this, how I'll flip this is because I want to close up the band first before I go ahead and top stitch on the right side. So I'm just going to fold this into 2 and close the band like this. So what I did was fold the band into 2 first and close the side of the band. Like I closed the band on this side, and then I'm just going to go ahead, after sewing, I'll go ahead and flip this to the right side. You can see I sewed by half an inch. I'll flip this to the right side. So now I can go ahead and top stitch my band on the right side of the pants. So this is me flipping it to the right side, and I'm just going to sew like this. I'm just going to sew and top stitch. So this is how I was able to create this beautiful pants. I hope you've learned something today, and I hope the sewing version was as detailed as I wanted it to be. I hope it was detailed for you, because I actually wanted it to be so detailed that you can be able to create whatever you want to create, and then, you know, show me pictures, let me know if you went well. So you guys, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for sticking with me from the beginning to the end. I have other videos you can watch, and I'm sure you're going to like them. So please let me know in the comment section if you enjoyed the whole process. I love you guys so much. Please keep being creative, and I'm sending out my love and light to you wherever you are in the world. And please do not forget to hem the base of your pants. Please do that. I forgot to say that, so do that. And yeah, thank you again, and I'll be seeing you guys on my next video. Bye for now.